Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Hello everyone, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. Today is Friday night, and on Friday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, we go live and do some mini readings. So if you want to get on the list for tonight's readings, all you have to do is send $25 to my PayPal, and there's a link in the description below of this video that'll take you straight to my PayPal. And once you send the 25, I will add your name to the list, which I have right in front of me. There's already 3 people on the list for tonight. So if you want to get a reading, there's plenty of room. And you can choose from an astrology reading or a tarot and oracle reading. And within like the realm of astrology, you can choose to look at your natal chart or the transits that are happening or progressions or synastry. I also do that as well. And with the tarot and oracle, like those messages have always been just so powerful and so synchronistic lately that I also recommend that as well. Let's say hi to everyone that is in the chat. Hello Zainab, welcome in. Hello Nelvin, welcome in. And Miliana, good to see you guys here. So there's a lot going on astrologically, and hello Chanel, welcome in. And the first thing that's happening is that today, officially, Mercury has gone retrograde. I actually, just a few hours ago, I uploaded the Mercury retrograde video to the membership, the STARSEED membership. So if you want to watch that video, join the STARSEED membership. It's absolutely a no-brainer. It's $22 a month, and I give you videos, uploads, information. We do live events, and it's all based off of the astrology. So you are guided through the astrological wheel of the year, the Celtic wheel as well, so the solstices and the equinoxes and the cross-quarter days, the stargates, portals as well. And it's a really beautiful way to tap into the community. We have a group on MeWe as well. So it's really amazing. But if you want to watch that video about what is up with Mercury retrograde, what it means and how it's going to affect you based off of your sun, moon, and rising, then you can do that by either logging in if you remember or by signing up for the membership. Hello, Arena. Welcome in. Hello, Amanda. Welcome in. Thank you guys so much for being here live. And the other thing that I want to share with you guys is we are like less than 3 weeks away. I've lost count because I've been preparing so intensely for the Moon Goddess training, which starts on January 29th. It is an 8-week program. Each week, we are going to go through the temple initiations of ancient Atlantis, ancient Egypt, ancient Lemuria, but mostly ancient Atlantis. And through these initiations, we're going to learn about how to become coherent in our lives by understanding fully the fundamental aspects of how the universe works, the 9 dimensions, how that's related to sacred geometry, how that's related to Hermetic alchemy and the 7 Hermetic laws of the universe, how that's related to our chakras, and finally, how we can use all of those systems, align ourselves with the harmony and the frequency of those systems so that we can live coherently in our lives and basically live magical lives that we are all 100% capable of. We just have to remember the wisdom, and that's what we learn in this course. So another aspect of the course is learning basically all of these intricate parts. These fundamental parts are teaching us what the Akashic records are in a nutshell and how to access the Akashic records. And in level 1, which is this next one that's coming up, we learn that basic topic. In level 2, we learn how to work with the cycles and with the dimensions, and in a practical way, we learn how to actually do this in our lives. Like, what does it actually look like to live coherently? And we go through the process of understanding that. And then in level 3, you can learn how to actually help other people by understanding this information and do your own as we tap into the Akashic records, do your own readings and your own interpretations of Akashic records. So it's going to be such a powerful journey. Plus, in February, there's a very powerful portal. I promised the membership I would start talking about it live. And it's February 22nd of 2022. You guys may have heard of it, but it's a powerful portal that opens up and aligns time and space. And Matias De Stefano, he's been going live every day and talking about this portal and this project that he's got going on. It's called Yo Soy Arsayan, or the Path of the I Am. And the Arsayan were the ancient Atlantean priests that created an initiatic pathway by which we could always remember how to come back to our center. If as a humanity, as a collective, we steered away from that center, how to come back to it. That's basically what we're doing in the Akashic, in the Moon Goddess training, is going through that initiation path so that you can understand the fundamentals, level 1. But anyways, so this project that Matias is working on, there's a huge portal on February 22nd of 2022. And so on that day, we're going to be doing some kind of ceremony ritual here. And I'll be talking a little bit more about it, but you can basically go to his YouTube channel. It's called Fundación Arsayan. And the video he did, not today, but 2 days ago, he basically explained the whole sort of the outline of the project, and that there are basically 5 groups. There's the element of fire group, the element of water, the element of air, and the element of earth. And the 5th element, the ether, is basically everyone on the planet. And he wants us to basically go to get as close as we can to the intersecting lines, or the actual nodes, the territories that encompass the nodes of the planet. And this is based off of sacred geometry, basically the web around the planetary web that is both a dodecahedron as well as an icosahedron. And these specific points are based off of this axis point, this axis node, central point, which is Egypt. And that's why the main the main exercises are happening in Egypt. The main activations are going on in Egypt, but everyone all over the planet, he wants us on that day, the 22nd, to get as close as we can to the nodes. And there's a way to figure out where the nodes are and all that stuff. He did like an entire broadcast on it, I think a couple days ago. So if you're interested in wanting to know more and get involved, then make sure to go check that out, because this is like huge event on the planet. And has anyone read the book Serpent of Light? If you haven't read the book Serpent of Light, I highly recommend it. It is actually in the 80s, I think it was 87 or something like that. They did the harmonic convergence, and it was a similar event where a lot of people from all over the world were all in ceremony on the same day at the same time, and it was to help release the Kundalini energy of the planet so that it could move through the Panama Canal to the new location, which is in Peru. The Kundalini energy of the planet, right? And it's an amazing book that shows the reason why and how everybody came together. And this is very much one of the most important things that you will ever be a part of in your entire life. So please look into his YouTube channel, Fundación Arsayan, and his videos that he's been doing since the 11th, I believe. He started on the 11th, and he explains the whole reason why this whole project is going on. We essentially, you don't even have to sign up for the Ether group because it's free and it's going to be like an online thing on YouTube. But to understand why it's all going on, then you have to watch all of his videos. So we're going to be a part of it here on this channel because I absolutely adore Matias. He's amazing. He's one of my biggest teachers in terms of understanding all of this and the history of the planet and the universe and how it was created and why we're here and what are we supposed to do with our own little itty bitty lives in this big expansive universe. So it's amazing. I want you guys to get excited about it because it's a big effing deal. There's no other way. He actually he does his own translations. So he talks in Spanish and in English. So he'll say it in Spanish first, and then he'll translate it into English, and then he says it in Spanish, and then he continues the whole lecture. So it takes him a while to get through because he wants to reach as many people as possible. But he translates it into English, so you guys can definitely understand everything, no problem. Let me say hi to more people that are in the chat that I didn't say hi to yet. Amanda, I don't know if I said hi to you, but hello. Chanel, Kimberly, welcome in. Let's see who else is here. Valerie, welcome. Thank you for being here. And like I said, we've got 3 people on the list, so the list is open. Yes, so go check it out. We have to be a part of this. There's no question about it. We have to be a part of this. February, his whole project has been going on for the last few years. And it was all about getting on track with ourselves so that we can all participate in this amazing event. And really, all you need to do is just show up with your heart. He asked that on the first day. Just show up with your heart, just to be open, to give your energy and support of the activation of our planetary web. We need to do this in order to enter and lock it in and activate again the information channels, the synapses of our planet. Our planet is a sphere, and the sphere is sacred. Within the sphere is found all of the sacred geometry that we talk about, the 5 platonic solids, the tetrahedron, octahedron, dodecahedron, the icosahedron, the cube. They're all found within the sphere. And so spherical beings, the beings that are in spherical shape, actually are called, he calls them the, what's the word? It's not coming to me, but anyways, they hold consciousness. They hold consciousness. And so the earth is next in line for this ascension or cosmic awareness, consciousness of the planet. But we need to activate that web, and that's the project is all about. That's why it's so important that we all join, even if we don't really understand what's going on, but just trust in our hearts. If you feel it, if you feel called to be a part of it, then please find where you are in the world and find where the closest node is, and I'll do another broadcast to kind of go over it and explain it. But really, you should just go watch his video because he's way better at explaining it than I am. But anyways, hello, Alex. Welcome in. Carmelola, welcome in. Thank you guys for those of you that are on the list. And then, like I said, there's room. Valerie says, Jai, is it too early to try no, it's not. No, it's not at all. Not at all. That would be beautiful and powerful. And I'm totally there for it. So, Arena is first on the list. Then we've got Miliana, and then third is Zainab. That's the three on the list that are right now. So, as I call your name, post your question into the chat. And if you're doing astrology, post your information. So, I need date of birth, time of birth, and location, like city, state, or city and country, or state and country. Like, we'll figure it out as we go along. Hello, Nathan. Welcome in. However, I need that information to be able to pull up your chart, and I will share your chart. If you want to do the astrology, I'll share your chart on the screen so you can see exactly what's going on. So I'm actually going to do that right now while we get Arena, if you don't mind posting your information on the chat again for me. I know you emailed me, but it's easier if you just post it here while I put up the chart that we can all look at. So much going on. So much going on this week. We got Mercury's gone retrograde. I actually really, I'm ruled by Mercury. Of course I am. Hermes Mercurius Trismegistus Thoth, the ancient Atlantean, is the same as Mercury, the god Mercury, or Hermes. And I feel so connected to anything that Mercury does, and I actually enjoy Mercury retrograde. Is that a little too crazy? I actually enjoy it. It allows me the opportunity to connect more deeply to everything that I'm thinking, everything that I'm preparing, everything that I'm doing. Really comes from that space. All right, so let's get this in. So 006, is that what would it be AM? Is that 1:06 AM? Well, let's see what happens if I just put 0:06. Okay, 12:06. Sorry, don't ask my brain to do these kind of calculations. Okay, so from Osaka, Japan. And if we have any moderators in here, if you could post the link to sign up for a reading. If you want to sign up for a reading, also, you can find the link in the description. So Donna, the readings are not free, but I would love to do a reading for you. To get on the list, you send $25 to my PayPal, and the link is in the description of the video. Okay, here we go. And I got you, Valerie. I saw that you did that. Oh, thank you, Zainab. I appreciate that. Thank you for putting that up there. And hello, Sarah. So make sure if you want to get on the list for tonight, the readings are not free, but I would love to do a reading for you. And in the description, there's the link and a little more information about the readings. Okay, so February 8th, 1993. Okay, 12:06 a.m. Osaka, Japan. All right. So now that I have you here live, Arena, I would love to ask you, what are you wanting in terms of an astrology reading? Because what I can do is look at your natal chart in general. If you've never looked at your natal chart or never had a reading, then what I would do is we can just look at that in a general sense. And, August 2nd, not the 8th? Oh, okay. And that happens because in the US, we do it different. I'll fix it. No worries. Edit chart. See how funny? See how funny that is? Okay. So it's August 2nd of 93. Yeah, in the US we put the month before the day, but you guys put the day before the month. I'm from Argentina, so we did that in Argentina too, and then I forgot, like, that was stopped being automatic for me. The list is open, Jennifer, because I moved to the US when I was really little. So, what do you want to know about your chart? Have you seen your natal chart before? And also, if you're wanting to see, well, I'll just wait for you to respond. Let me add Valerie to the list. And the best way to keep this evening flowing smoothly is, if you're on the list, if you've paid and you're on the list, have your question ready, like to copy and paste into the chat when I call your name. That's basically how it works. All right. Yes, but I don't have a specific question. What is the yes for? Okay. That's pretty simple, and let's freaking go for it. Okay. So you're going to see the chart on the screen. No worries, Kimberly. No worries. Zainab is helping out. Zainab is helping out. Okay, I got it. I got it, girl. I got it. I have had your... Okay. So what you're here to do, or your strengths and weaknesses. Okay, let's just do like a little kind of general overview of your chart. So you have Leo Sun, Capricorn Moon, you're a Taurus rising, you've got Venus in Gemini. Ooh, at 29, that's cool. You've got let's see. Chiron and Leo. That's really interesting. North Node in Sagittarius in the 7th house, and South Node in Gemini in the 1st house. So the first thing that is significant to understand is the main aspects of your soul, right? So your sun, which is in Leo, is a very strong energy in astrology, because the sun rules the sign of Leo. Leo is all about, being in the heart, loyalty, being connected. Relationships are really important. It's a solid energy, because Leo is also what we call a fixed sign in astrology. So that's why the sun in Leo just loves to shine bright, and that's your biggest desire in life. In terms of the energy of your sun, is to shine really bright and to also speak your truth and communicate that. Your moon is in a very different energy. Moon in Capricorn, this can be a little bit at odds with your Leo, with your sun in Leo, because the moon in Capricorn is in what we call in detriment, which means that it's in the opposite sign of where it feels the best. It feels the best in the sign of Cancer, but in Capricorn, it tends to restrict its emotions. It tends to be a little bit too structured, or a little bit too, what's the other word? Oh, there was a word and it's not coming, but it doesn't allow itself to fully express its emotions, because it wants to be more practical than emotional. Capricorn is... Because the moon rules the sign of Cancer, when she finds herself in the sign of Capricorn, it's uncomfortable for the moon. And so you may yourself also restrict your emotions, or sometimes have difficulty expressing your emotions, because that's what the moon in Capricorn does. There is a lot of wisdom though that comes through you, because that Capricorn energy is also a very wise energy. It's like Saturn energy, and it is like the wise sage, or the one that brings wisdom after going through the journey and understands the path, like the whole path, and they've already like shown up to the world and done like their purpose. And so there's wisdom that comes through, but also this moon tends to restrict its emotions. So you may have a little bit of a inner conflict within yourself, because your Leo sun wants to express itself, and that is coming from the heart. It's deep emotion, but your moon is like, no, like keep it together, like don't go crazy with this. Keeps you under check in a really interesting way. You also have Taurus rising, which means that you identify when people see you, when they want to understand who you are, they will think you're a Taurus, because this is the energy that comes through very strongly in your personality, the cusp of the first house. And it's so interesting because you also have the South Node here in the first house, which means that there's a karmic aspect to how you identify yourself. What you're supposed to move away in your life from being too stable, like being too like perfect in a way, you could say that, being having things, your ducks in a row. And what you're supposed to do is move more towards being a little bit more what's it called? A little bit more daring. A little bit more daring. And the other thing too is the first house is also ruled by Aries. So this is about you letting go of your need to do everything yourself and letting others help you. Learning to work, collaborate with other people, which is the 7th house of Libra. The South Node in Gemini says you have a lot of knowledge and you've shared it. You've shared it in past lives with people. You've talked, you've spoken your truth. But now what you have to do with that knowledge is to actually go and have an experience of it. To have a spiritual experience, to have a journey, because Sagittarius needs to go out and learn by doing, by experiencing. And that is one of your main goals in life, is to learn by experiencing things, and to learn by experiencing things in your relationships. And that's, that question of like, what's my purpose? What am I here to do? That's a big one. In terms of, your strengths, you can you're very intuitive, and so thoughts come to you very naturally in a very, it's easy for you to trust your intuition. You have to be careful not to get a little too emotional when like to not let the emotions get in the way of your mind and of objectivity and making decisions. That's important. You also have a gift of being really organized. But you have to be careful not to get too analytic about yourself and about the actions that you take in your life. You have a lot of personal power, and it comes through when you are the most present. When you are present in what you're doing in your daily life, in your schedule, this is when your true power comes out. And your Chiron journey is the journey of healing your relationship with your heart, your relationship with your soul in a way, your relationship with your inner child. So this is inner child healing. You came here to work on that. And so that is a wound. That's your primal wound, is inner child and home. So you may have had traumatic childhood, because Chiron in the 4th house says you are here to heal within this realm of life, which is home and family. And so you may have had some like major like events in your life, especially in your childhood, especially in relationship to being able to express yourself and your creativity and your passion. You may have been restricted. And so now you feel like Maybe you have no passion. There's a fear that you have no passion, that you're not creative, but you're here to learn that you really truly are, and that when you shine your light really bright, you will show, you will show that light through your creativity and through your passion. But you chose, right? These are all things that we chose before we were born to actually learn. So these are all themes that we've chosen to learn, and that's pretty much everything that stands out to me. So I hope that gave you some clarity and some deeper understanding of yourself. So thank you for getting this reading, and I'm glad that we were able to do this today. So next on the list, we have Meliana. So Meliana, go ahead and put up your question, and I'm just going to update the list from my PayPal. And we have also added Jennifer to the list. So we've got, we just did Arena. Now next is Meliana. Zainab is next. Valerie is after that. And then Jennifer is after that. And if you want to get on the list is open. The instructions on how to sign up are in the description of the video. It's basically $25 sent to my PayPal. Then I add your name to the list. You're welcome. You're welcome, Arena. All right, Kimberly, thanks for letting us know. All right, we got a tarot/oracle reading. I love it. And the question is, I did some energy clearing for myself, and it was incredibly, hi Maria, incredibly powerful. I've felt a presence with me since then. I think I know who it is, but I would like confirmation. Okay, let me do a little prayer to clear the cards, and then we'll do your reading. Thank you, spirit guides, angels, and teachers for being here with us this beautiful Friday evening on Mercury retrograde. And I want to ask help clearing the energy of the cards as well as my energy, so I can be that clear channel of open intuition, flow, and wisdom to flow through and be channeled through with grace to everyone that's getting a reading and signing up for a reading tonight, as well as anyone that's watching or watching the replay that feels a resonance to either the cards that I pull or the topics and the archetypes and the symbols that I talk about. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Satnam Waheguru. All right, what do we got? I'm going to pull 5 cards for you, and it's going to be an intuition card, a challenge card, an overall theme, wisdom from the ancestors, and animal spirit. And I already dropped one, so let me grab it. Okay. So Meliana would like confirmation as to who is this presence that she feels with her since she's done energy clearing. Can you help us find more information about what this presence is that will help her to understand or confirm if it is what she's intuiting? Okay, overall theme. Wisdom from the ancestors. And animal spirit. These cards are very interesting. Okay. So, let us take a look at this. So the first card that came out is the Four of Pentacles. And in this card, I don't know if you can see, but there's this like kind of old wise man. He has a beard. He looks like a king. The essence of the Four of Pentacles is about control. It's also about like the desire for stability, and it's also the need for security. When it's like holding on to what you have because you're afraid to lose it. So in essence, this person, this presence that you're feeling, it could possibly be someone who represents these qualities, whether in the image or whether the energy of, like I said, control, needing things to be stable and have a sense of security. That's the first kind of hit that we get as to what this is. The Ace of Cups comes out as the challenge card. So this has to do with emotions, with processing emotions, but also this card represents a new beginning in emotion, a new emotional beginning, like a new journey, a new awareness, a new emotional awareness of what this is. So this presence can also be someone that you felt that you feel or have felt deeply connected to emotionally, like somehow the emotions help you. The emotions is how you perceive this essence that is around you, and this is a beautiful beginning because it's love, right? It's the frequency of love that comes through. It is technically in the challenge position, so it may be challenging. Maybe you feel like your clairsentience is not that strong, which is like being able to feel emotionally what is going on, like to receive messages emotionally, or maybe you feel blocked, like some emotions are blocked. But if you work through your emotions, you'll be able to tap more fully into what this presence is that is around you. And the next card is the Nine of Wands. It's actually a very beautiful and powerful card. I'm not doing reversals right now for this reading, but the Nine of Wands represents courage, it represents persistence, and it represents strength. So some of the qualities of this presence are that it's a very courageous essence. It's persistent. It's teaching you persistent, and it's teaching you strength to keep going, telling you to keep going and to keep moving forward with courage is what this being wants you to know. And then the Ten of Swords is the next card that we get. And this is in the position of the wisdom from the ancestors. So what this card represents is, it's almost like being, for example, I'm not saying this is what you've experienced, but it's the example of when we allow ourselves to be used and abused, and somehow we don't realize it until it's too late. What ends up happening, and what this card represents, is that we get to a point where there's no more that we are able to give. And so because of that, it ends the cycle, and it makes you realize, okay, we've reached sort of like rock bottom. There's nowhere else to go. You can't keep sort of beating the dead horse, as the phrase says. And so it's a new beginning, a new cycle. And so this being wants to tell you that it's also representative of a cycle that has ended, and a new beginning, a new start in a way has arrived. And what I'm getting is that these are kind of the qualities that this presence is teaching you. And you may be able to determine who this presence is by asking yourself if this presence has, you know, these qualities. The last thing about it is the animal card, and it's the cheetah. And the cheetah runs really fast. It has the capability to move really, really fast. I see the cheetah moving through different dimensions quickly. This is the energy that comes from the sun. So it's like the solar forces. It's the energy of action. It's the energy of achievement, and it's a masculine energy. So part of me feels like this person may have masculine energy, but the cheetah is the epitome of the solar forces at work. The sun doesn't shine onto the cheetah. It shines from inside this great creature and expands outward to brighten the universe. The energy within a cheetah personality is palpable to others, and they naturally attract an audience to bear witness to their remarkable achievements. Purpose and passion are the best fuel for a cheetah's forward momentum. So if you're lacking in those areas, reconnect to the why before you start running. This is about achievement, boundless energy. So those are the qualities. So now I'm curious as to how that resonates with you in terms of what you've been kind of experiencing about this energy this presence that you feel is with you. But those were pretty strong. They're pretty strong, you know, cards. There's pretty strong messages. So I hope that resonated with you. And the next reading we have is for Zainab. So feel free to go ahead and put up your question. She says, it's 100% who I thought it was, and that was her life. As soon as you put up the first card, I knew. Okay, good. I'm glad that you were like, you know, tapped in. All right, here we go. Zainab's reading. Use tarot, please. A person I considered a special friend and a mentor is back in my life after a decade. He did abandon me when I was in a rough time. So what do you want to know about this situation? What's the question that you want to ask? After Zainab, we have Valerie. And after Valerie, we have Jennifer. And the list is open if you want to get on the list. You're welcome, Miliana. Beautiful. I love that. I love that you got confirmation. All right. Let me check PayPal real quick as we wait for Zainab's response. And so far, so good. Okay. I am not resentful. I am not resentful and happy. He is back. Okay. But a force inside me keeps telling me to march forward full force. What do you mean by march forward full force? Like work with this person? Or to continue and like put it aside? Thanks, Kimberly, for posting that link up. You're not resentful and happy. Is that what you meant to say? I am not resentful and happy. He is back, but a force inside me keeps telling me to march forward full force. Okay, to ignore that he's back and leave him behind is what the force is telling you. To be like, whatever. So you're wanting guidance on, sorry about my my ridiculousness. Okay, got it. There was a pause. I am not resentful. but I am happy he's back. Okay. We're slowly getting there. But a force inside me keeps telling me to not. Okay, got it. All right. So you're like happy that he's back. You're not resentful, but something tells you go the other way. I'm going to ask the obvious question. Was this was it a romantic relationship? Seems like it, but I just wanted to make sure. And let's see what the cards say. It's okay. All right. And the animal spirit. Okay. It's a friendship with chemistry, is there? All right. This is quite interesting. Okay. So here's the first card that we get, the Three of Wands. Is this reversed or is this upright? Hang on. Let me just double check because I would like to be correct about this. So I think this is actually upright. Okay, here we go. All right, so Three of Wands upright. It's actually a really intense, there's a really intense imagery on this card. Let me put it up. So we've got this person standing on where it looks like the desert and like the scorching sun. He looks like a magician because on one hand, he's got this staff that is lit up, magically lit with like symbols on it. And on his other hand, he's reaching out and he's sort of creating this kind of orb. It looks like a yin yang symbol. Honestly, it's blue and yellow. He's also wearing this like really powerful red cape, and the color red represents the root chakra. And so I think that what's going on underneath, like the theme underneath it all, is there's a fear of grounding into it for you. It's triggering your sense of security. It's triggering your sense of like safety. You may be in your life feeling like comfortable with where you're at, and you are now, it's shaking you up, and you don't like that. And the reason is because there has been something in your past that has forced you, or there's like, it's like a PTSD reaction. Like when you're not grounded, you feel like it's really uncomfortable because you've been maybe ungrounded for a lot of your life, or at least you haven't had that sense of security. The root chakra is also aligned with the law of generation, which is the one that materializes into reality, the one that shows us that we're creators because we bring things into reality. We actually manifest them into this world, and that's how we learn. There's a connection here between this person, but he's standing away from you. The energy is not directed at you, but it's inviting you to watch and observe what it's doing so that you can learn something from it. The Three of Wands is, in tarot, represents preparation, planning, and also expansion. So this energy, which could represent him, but it could also represent you. You are getting ready to expand forward. But, or maybe this connection is going to help you expand in some way, whether you allow him into your life or not. Regardless of that, here's the thing that you have to recognize. Regardless of that, he has arrived. And one of the laws of the universe is a law of correspondence that says, as above, so below, as within, so without. You would not have anything show up in your life that was not something that is going on internally. So your job is to figure out, why am I seeing this? If it is true, and it is a law of the universe that basically what's inside me or what's outside me is a reflection of what's going on inside of me, you can take the way to work with things that trigger us is to take the information and try to figure out where it's coming from, how long it's been there, what's the cycle, like when this feeling comes back, like how do I react to it? All those questions are important for you to determine what is it inside of you that is happening. It doesn't have anything to do with him at all. This is you, and the reason he's here is because he's resonating, and the situation itself and whatever it's bringing up, that's the vibration. What's the frequency of it? What's the feeling of it? What does it feel like? What does it make you think about? What does it cause inside of you? What reaction does it cause inside of you? And slowly you determine, what it is. Before you make any choice, you need to figure this out, because this is alchemy, and this person is practicing alchemy. So I think this is inviting you to practice your own alchemy so that you can determine what is going on without ever having to communicate with this person, because really they're just a reflection of you, of what's happening within you. So everything that you're experiencing, it feels like it's stirring something up inside of you. It's causing something to feel like friction, and it's saying pay attention, because this is something that obviously has shown up in your life, because either you're ready to deal with it, or it's just you're vibrating at this frequency, and so you have to pay attention. You can't just ignore it or avoid it or try to feel like I didn't do anything, I didn't cause this, blah blah blah, because in a sense, in the world of energy, you did cause this to show up in your life at this moment right now. You have to come to terms with why. And you can only ask yourself those questions internally. That's the process that you're going through. The next card is, you do get the Chariot card, but it's reversed. So instead of coming, he's going, right? So what the Chariot card is usually represents is sort of like you're moving in the direction of something. But when it's reversed, it can feel like there's confusion, because it feels like, are we going backwards instead of forwards? And this is your challenge. You feel like something is taking you backwards. You know that impulse that you're like, something tells me to just keep going, and like this can also represent that, like you gone and gone, But it can be a negativity. The Chariot card reverse. It can be confusion. It can also be passive energy. So that's your challenge. Don't be passive about this. Be action oriented and work through what feels confusing to find the clarity about it. The overall theme is, and this is very interesting because it is actually the Two of Cups, which we know traditionally represents connection with someone else. And it most often than not, it represents a romantic connection. Like this is the card of like soulmates. But beyond that, this card also represents balance, attraction, and partnership. And I believe that this card, if I'm right, it's also upright. So it's balance, attraction, and partnership. So maybe there's a fear that there's a deeper connection, right, to this like somehow you're fearing the connection. Somehow you're there's a fear of the connection because somehow it's going to disrupt your life that you thought was stable. But you have to ask yourself, is it worth finding out what happens, or is it not? Right? That's the question that you got to ask yourself. And then we get with the wisdom from the ancestors, we get the Knight of Wands. So I feel like this card represents, so the Wands is the fire element, it's passion. This specific card represents an energy coming towards you that's passionate, and that's adventurous. And I think that may be part of the fear. This can be a little bit of like, I'm not really committed because I just want to play. So maybe you're feeling that. And so that's the fear. It's like, you don't want to risk, there's something that you don't want to risk about it because maybe it doesn't feel totally stable. This really feels to me like it's a root chakra problem or issue that's coming up for you. And then the last card that you get is the crocodile. This is a very interesting energy. Awesome, Kimberly. So the crocodile is about resting, submerging, collecting your energy, and cooling off. The crocodile reminds us to step back from the external world and turn inward. That's exactly what I was talking about. Figure out where this is coming from. It has nothing to do with him. It has everything to do with you and your own balance within your chakra system. Now is not the time for decisions, action, or discussion. The crocodile's mantra is wait. This doesn't mean lying around hoping life's challenges will disappear. The crocodile is much smarter than that. It means intentionally withdrawing, gathering your awareness, observing and building energy. Fill up the vital reserves so your next move comes from a place of wisdom and power. So you need to practice patience, and you need to be that silent powerhouse, that wisdom and power that comes from sort of a higher frequency of patience, which is basically wisdom. Patience can teach us a lot about wisdom. So that's what I got. I hope that brought you some insight and that it resonated with you, and that somewhere in there you found sort of some answers to what's going on or some guidance to what's going on. And thank you again for getting this reading. I appreciate it. And next we have Valerie. All right, Valerie, here we go. You're welcome. And I know there's a couple of people that got on the list, so let me double check the list and update it for you guys. So after we have Valerie right now, then we have Jennifer. Then we have Kimberly. And then we have Maria. All right. You're welcome. I know. Everybody's waiting on Valerie's reading. So I want you to ask an actual question, Valerie. I don't want this to be general. Like, I would like, what I would like would help me is if there's just something that you would like to know, etc., etc. If there is something that you can sort of say, this is what I want to know, then that will go from there. Okay, I need to do one more thing. As we get your question, because I already got a hit that we need to do this, so we're just gonna freaking do it right here, right now. Right here, right now. Hey, babe. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, are you open to doing like a mini Akashic reading, Valerie? There's two options. Ohio or Michigan. Oh, no. But I want to know if what we talked about is true. We're actually doing this. Rebecca, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here, Rebecca, and everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, we're gonna do it. Okay, so I want to ask you then. I need to ask you if you give me permission to open up your records. Yeah, we're gonna freaking go there. This is not. We've never done this before. I've never done an Akashic reading live on YouTube, but for this specific situation, I feel called to do this. Why is Jaya all of a sudden speaking in an accident? What are you talking about, Nathan? Let's keep this relevant, please. Don't answer that question, Nathan. Okay. Rebecca. Okay, here we go. We're moving on. Completely and utterly moving on. Here we go. I want you to take a deep breath in, Valerie. Oh, and an accent. And a deep breath out. That's hilarious. I just got it. Inhale. We're not opening your records, Brandy. We're opening just Valerie's. So no one else's records are getting open right now. Exhale. Don't worry about it, Nathan. Inhale. And exhale. So, Valerie, I want you to picture yourself inside a Merkaba, which you know what I'm talking about. You're inside of it, and this is like the pyramid that points up and the pyramid that points down, and you're sitting right in the center of this Merkaba. And around this Merkaba, we have this gold light that shimmers really bright, and this is the gold light of protection, that wherever we travel to, wherever we go in this moment, in this mini Akashic reading, we are going to be protected within. And I am also in my own Merkaba as we prepare to go into this beautiful journey. From the north, south, east, west, as above, as below, may all angels, guides, seers, and the Great Spirit guide us in this journey. May our hearts be received and our visions be guided in light and love. May the deepest wisdom come forth for Valerie in this moment, and may she be supported by the ancients of all creation. The records are open with the greatest integrity to serve Valerie and all humankind. All is held in a stream of light and love. All is guided. All is protected. The records are open. You are loved. instantly when I was talking about the Merkabahs, I saw this like intense blue color. It was like a royal blue color that was sort of starting to permeate like everything. It was just like getting stronger, and it felt like it's in like a spherical shape. Ooh, okay. I'm like seeing the earth. This is so interesting. Okay, so she's showing me the power of the earth, Mama Gaia. It's zooming into the earth. It's like going, Google Maps, Google Maps going into the earth. It's not what I'm seeing is not, it's like taking me to the place, the energy of where she wants to be, where the memory of her wants to be, because she's not gonna be there. She's not in her body anymore. She's not, and I know you know this, but she is showing me these beautiful pine trees. For some reason I'm seeing like lots of pine trees, so lots of green. There's life. There's also there's animals, like there's nature, and there's the connection to nature and the animals and the elementals. And in this place feels really peaceful. I see a little girl running around, and she's playing. She's wearing like a dress that has it's a white dress, but it's got little red hearts all over it. And she's just running around. She's got blonde hair, and she's got a little white bow on her head, and she's running around and she's playing. There's some intense emotion coming through, but she's running around and she's playing, and she's really happy here. Like she feels calm. So she feels really calm and peaceful, and she's playing, and I think she's trying to tell you that like she's okay, that she's able to move around like a child, with this energy of like freedom. There's something about being in nature and being able to move and flow that she wants you to know, and she's showing me these images because she knows that you'll understand what she means. Your other question was so Valerie wants to know if what you guys talked about is true. Is what you guys talked about true? I'm seeing this like beautiful red rose. It's like beautiful petals, like the rose is glowing, and roses represent the divine feminine, and Mother Mary, the frequency of Mother Mary, also Mary Magdalene and Anna, grandmother of Jesus. Okay, so I'm seeing the Trinity, like the ancestry, the grandmother, the mother, and the daughter being represented here. And it's it's solid. Like what it's saying is the connection is solid. This sort of lineage, this connection between grandmother, mother, daughter, and one working to basically manifest the next one, but also working to open up the path for the next one. Like without the one that came before, the one that came after would not be who they are, of course, would not have their path. And the path of, I'm like kind of like trembling, like it's a lot to like watch, like kind of this like frequency has, there's a like, maybe it's a nervousness, or you know how when we connect to the something really powerful and strong, like we'd start to tremble. Like I'm feeling that right now in my body. And coming back to the lineage, the ancestry, it is it's showing that there's a purpose, right? Because Anna, grandmother of Jesus, was alive for over 600 years in her body. She like kind of kept her physical body alive because her mission was to bring the Christ being, and to help teach the Christ being, and in the mystery schools of the Essenes. And her mission was that was like kind of the end result for her, but like her real purpose was to have Mary. And then Mary Magdalene is kind of, even though Mary Magdalene is not Mary's daughter, I'm seeing it as like a connection, and it could be like an ethereal, like a spirit. It's a spiritual connection. It's not physical. It's like spiritual, like their souls are connected in this line. And I'm seeing these like three beautiful, like glowing balls of light. And these energies are, they merge into one beautiful bright light, and the light becomes blue. Wow, we're like right back where we started. So the light becomes blue, and blue is truth. Truth. It's true. It's true. Is there anything else you want to share? No. The message is complete. Okay. I give thanks to the north, south, east, and the west, all the elements, tattvas, the Great Spirit, angels and guides, guiding all with the hands of creation and love. May we be blessed and loved. May all this reading close with the highest integrity to continue to serve and heal, and may all be held in a stream of light consciousness. Aho, the records are now closed. All right, that was intense. Okay. That was dense. So, Satnam, Valerie, I hope that served you really well. And I'm not going to do another Akashic reading. That was like special for Valerie. But I will mention, Jennifer, you can put up your question. Oh man, that was really intense. I will mention that I do Akashic readings, you guys. They're available on my website, and that was basically like an example of what one would look like. Oh, it was really beautiful. It was really beautiful. Okay. Dawn says she's got a number of accents that appear from time to time. Yep. Yeah. She said, "Here I come." That's right. I forgot about that. Is she showing Jai the answers. Yes, she is seeing her mother and her grandmother. Whoa. Are you serious? Are you serious? That's intense. That's intense, Valerie. Oh, wow. Kimberly says that was very intense and I loved it. I was in all of that with you. You saw it all. Yeah. It was amazing. It was amazing. Thank you, Valerie, for the opportunity. All right, here we go. We shall transition. Jennifer, can I have a transit reading, please? Yes. Can you also give me the location of where you were born? And we shall pull up your chart. My sister asked her to connect with her. Asked your niece to connect with her? It was pretty cool. Okay. 70987098. And okay. Let's go over here. Transition this and let's pull up a new chart. Jennifer, you know, my teacher told me in our training that my teacher told me in our training that when you go into the Akashic records, you feel refreshed and renewed, and I literally feel like I had a cleansing or something. Like it was really intense and now it's like relaxing. But I feel like actually more alive. Oh. Oh my God. Are you kidding me, Valerie? Wow. What on earth? That's really intense. Oh my God. Wow. Okay, focus. Focus. Holy shit, that's so intense. And that's why I love the Akashic records. Fuck yeah. Wow. That was the emotion. Like the emotion was like she became an alien. It was really like strong. Yeah, that was powerful. Okay. January 17th, 1971, 12:34 a.m. It's hard to like move away, from the energy. It's hard to transition. But we got this. We got this. No, it's the first time I'm doing it, so I did that. So now we know. You live and you learn. All right, January 17th, 1971, 12:34 a.m. in Buffalo, New York. Okay. Nathan is all over the place tonight. I mean, Jai became an alien after her reading. Is that what happened? Play a song. Boom shakalaka. Kalan paranasi dialang sarupe. Okay. Here we go. Your chart is on the inside and the transits are on the outside. And first thing we're going to look at is where is a Mercury. Okay. So here we go. Mercury went retrograde today. It's making a square to Uranus, which is transiting your 7th house, and Mercury is in your 4th house. So this square is going to create unpredictable energies in your life in terms of your relationships at home. So don't be surprised if what you're experiencing right now is like, what is going on? I don't even know what's going on. You know, your Uranus transiting through your 7th house, it's been there for a while. So this is not like a new thing for you, but what it's doing, it's just like, it's like a wrecking ball through like your relationships, because it's wanting you to do something new. It's wanting you to do something different. It's wanting you to be you. And the only way to do that is to like shake it up so that something new can happen. With square to Mercury retrograde, which is in your 4th house. So it means like a lot of the reflecting that you're going to do through the transit of Mercury retrograde, it has to do with home and family, like the realm of home and family. You also have Pluto transiting your 4th house. So it could be a lot power struggles at home. It could feel like things are just feeling a little funky. You also have, you have Pluto on your sun, chiquita. Pluto on your sun, exactly on your sun. That's going to feel really intense. So Pluto is actually, let's retract what I just said, because Pluto is at 26 degrees and your 4th, it's affecting your 4th house a little bit, but it's really actually in the 3rd. So what this is Pluto is exactly on your sun, which means that what you're experiencing is this intense sort of like the shadows come to light right now. And it's kind of an intense transit. You've been feeling it get stronger and stronger as like Pluto comes closer and closer to your sun. And now you are experiencing the most intense aspect of it, and you'll feel it kind of like dissipate. But this is like, don't destroy Pluto. This is basically, Pluto is actually very useful. This is a very a connection to your inner power. Like find your inner power, find your inner strength, and let that come through by shining a light on your shadows. This is how this energy is resolved and worked through. A lot of the Capricorn energy is in your 3rd house of communication. So you're finding new ways to communicate. You're learning to be more responsible with what you say. So the 4 agreements is really important here. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. What's the 3rd one? God, why do I always forget that one? It's the last one is this is every time. The last one is always do your best. And there's one other there. So be impeccable with your word. Oh, don't make assumptions. Okay. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best. That is like the 4 rules by which you have to live by right now in your life, and what you're learning to do that. And so there's going to be some hiccups. They're going to be like, you're going to rise and then you're going to fall, because you're learning how to find your sovereignty within your life in how you express yourself. So that's a big theme that's going on for you right now. The full moon in Cancer is going to be in your 9th house, which is actually really powerful. The moon is going to be opposing your sun, and then the sun and Pluto are going to be on your sun. So this is a very significant moment for you to check in with how do you want to expand? How do you want to grow? In what areas of your life are you willing to dive emotionally deep to discover and expand yourself? And your sense of, and your awareness, your sense of knowing, like what you know. You're going to yearn to have experiences that take you into the realm of emotion. So this is probably going to be a really emotional full moon for you. It's happening on Monday. But what you can do is ride the wave, literally ride the wave of emotions as you learn to feel your way into your power. And let's see what else jumps out at me. Relationships with your siblings could be a big deal right now. Siblings are people that feel like siblings to you, you know, like maybe cousins and things like that. They don't have to be related, but like people that feel kind of close to you, like you feel like a brother or sister energy. You're like restructuring how you relate to those people in your life right now with the Venus retrograde that is going on in your third house, and the conjunction that happened in your third house as well. That's kind of the biggest kind of theme and that's going on for you right now in your life in terms of relationships. And that's everything that jumps out at me. I feel like big, oh wow, that's insane. That's insane. Yeah, so spot on, right? Yeah, because you're not, because you're redefining the structure. You're creating a new structure, and Capricorn is about like you put the boundaries there. For whatever reason at the moment, that's you need space, right? You need time to figure things out, or whatever is going on in your end. The space and the time that you need, it has to be, you have to find it intuitively. You have to let your intuition guide you. That's a lot. All right, there we go. So thank you for getting that reading. And next we have Kimberly. And then we have Maria. Oh, thank you, Kimberly, for that donation. That's really sweet. And thank you, everybody that's watching. So let me check PayPal real quick again, because I don't know if anyone else got on the list. Yeah, so we have Kimberly and then Maria. And we'll say that if no one gets on the list, like after Maria's reading, then Maria will be the last one. You're welcome. You're welcome, Jennifer. This is a pretty powerful, magical evening, you guys. I'm glad you guys are here. So, Nathan, how did I become an alien after the reading? I want to know. What made you say that? Oh, yeah, that's all. That's good, Rebecca. I've got this mantra going right here, the victory mantra. I also want to apologize, Nathan, because I kind of had a weird reaction to your comment, because I thought there was a weird intention behind it, but there wasn't. And so I just want to apologize for like having a weird reaction to your comment earlier. Sorry. Because if you had actually if it had actually hadn't been that word, if the word accent hadn't been misspelled, that would have been fucking, I would have thought that was fucking hilarious. Oh my God. I was just thinking that you became a lot more aware. Your eyes even showed. Like a more, yeah. And that to you is an alien. That's hilarious. Okay. I just wanted to, clear the air. All right, here we go. Kimberly, my life has been a little chaotic. I broke up and immediately found myself in a new relationship. Not sure what happened in the first relationship, and I don't want it ruining this one. So I want to ask you, what's your question regarding, like, what do you want to ask the cards? Is what I would ask you to clarify. Asian. I didn't know I could do Asian accents. I need a little bit of more jasmine. By the way, if you guys are on this train, this doTERRA train, you better get on it. If anyone wants to know, I have an Etsy shop and I sell essential oil blends. And I think I'm going to have a sale soon of the essential oils. Would that be awesome for you guys? Okay, here we go. I'm going to have to go back and listen to that part because I'm like, I was doing an Asian accent. Yes, Valerie. Yes. Yes. Okay, but you are on the doTERRA train. All right. Is it something about me that I need to change, or was it just a stepping stone to wake me up to this opportunity now? Okay. Well, let's see what the cards want to tell you. Whoa. I also remember she had a video about exploring Arizona and aliens. We were visitors, she said. Oh, she had a sticker that said, I am just a visitor. I remember that. Okay. Oh, yeah. Do it. Okay. So, let's see what we got. Okay, here we go. So, all right. All right, here we go. We got the Eight of Pentacles upright, the Empress reversed, the Five of Swords upright, the Queen of Cups upright, and the Octopus. This tells me a lot, but we'll get that to the end. All right, so the Intuition card, we find it in the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is almost like, it's what you said. It's like, remember I was single for 12 years. It's like, it feels like it's about education, perseverance, focusing on the details. It's like the energy that keeps you moving. It's like when you're in the middle of it, when you're like in the doing the plan, or like working through the energy. It's focus. You have to focus to work with this energy. You have to stay consistent to work with this energy. And that's what we start this reading with, is that whatever is going on, it needs consistency. Well, let's find out what exactly that means. You get the Empress card reversed. Okay, so the Eight of Pentacles comes out, and then you get the Empress card reversed. So the Eight of Pentacles says there's something about, like, you need to work hard. But the Empress reverse is about laziness, about depending on other people, and about feeling uninspired. What I feel with that energy is like that word dependency, add the co in front of it, right? Like codependency. What tends to happen is, I think this happens a lot too, like when we leave one relationship and then suddenly find ourselves in another. Most of the time, it's interesting too in your specific case, because you were single for 12 years, so it's not like you've had a lot of kind of practice, in relationships. But somehow this is something that, this is a theme that's coming up. And you have to go deeper and figure out, where it's really coming from. And so to figure out where this energy of codependency, of feeling like there's nothing, maybe like the word uninspired, but it's almost like if you don't feel like there's something to work for, if you don't feel like there's something to do, then you will feel like you're wasting your time, and it won't feel good. But in order to work hard and get what you want achieved in your life, you really do have to put in the work, and you really do have to put in the effort to figure out. What I'm getting is the effort to figure out, where is this all coming from, right? Where is this like codependency energy coming from? Why is there something that feels like it's a block in your life? And the next card that we get is the Five of Swords, which many of us know this card as being a card of a conflict. It's almost like there has been a conflict, and maybe you won the argument, but you don't really feel like you won anything. Like it doesn't really feel that good, because it was connected to like the ego desires to like win the battle, or like win the argument. And really, if there had been more thought put into it, or if there had been more harmony in the situation, in the equation, maybe this wouldn't have needed to happen, right? There wouldn't have been a conflict. People wouldn't have felt betrayed. People wouldn't have felt like the other one was being selfish or whatever. That's the energy of the Five of Swords. So even though you may feel like maybe I won, it doesn't really feel that good. And that's the overall theme. This card is the overall theme, is that you may feel like you won, but something doesn't feel right about it in some way, shape, or form. And that's why the Empress reverse, it's like the codependency. This is the challenge, is to get out of the pattern of codependency, even though you haven't been in a relationship in 12 years. It literally could have like come right back. You know what I mean? Because if the right kind of frequency, if not if the right frequency shows up, but if someone shows up in your life, and I was talking about this, I think maybe the first reading that we did, if we see something happening like outside of us, it's because it's also happening inside of us. And so the key is to figure out where that emotion is coming from. Because we're in charge, we're responsible for our emotions, right? And we're responsible for how we respond, to things, and we can have all the emotions that we want. But in the end, really, it's our responsibility to figure out, where's that emotion really coming from? And it could be because you felt betrayed in the past, or there's been trauma, or all that stuff, which means that somehow these like new relationships, or maybe just this last one, actually triggered something in you that you hadn't quite finished working through. And I feel that because the ancestor card, the wisdom from the ancestors, is the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is like, she knows what she feels, and she knows why she feels it, but she's grounded and centered in her understanding of her emotions. This doesn't mean that she's not codependent, that she's, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, you have to get to a point where this is how you feel, so that nothing on the outside can move you, but only emotionally. But the only way to really get here is to really fully take control, right? She's holding the cup in her hands. Take control of the emotions that you feel. Like, get a hold of the emotions. Bring them together in a way that for you personally helps you understand them and work through them, so they're not like all over the place. Because what's going on is the Octopus says literally just that there's sort of like cords sticking out everywhere, and they're like they're like injecting themselves to where they don't belong, and it almost feels like your energy is just like spread, too thin. And this is completely not any kind of judgment. Obviously, these are the cards that are coming out. So this is what is the message. But I want to actually read to you what the crocodile is about. I'm glad that you're getting confirmation about it. All right, so the octopus. It's pretty much the same thing that I just said, but the book sometimes really gives a really nice description. So the octopus is about reaching, yearning, also lacking boundaries and direction. Basically, the definition of codependency. The octopus signifies a wonderfully perceptive mind paired with a lack of healthy boundaries. Unfortunately, this results in a well-intended but messy relationships. The octopus entwines itself into other people's business and shares their own without restraint. They believe that's what it means to be close. If you notice after spending time with someone that you feel drained or uneasy, the essence of octopus is at play. And the other way around. If you feel like you feel charged but the other person feels drained, then that's something to think about as well. Begin to establish healthy boundaries. Be patient and firm. It may be a very old habit to change. And that's what we got. So thank you, Kimberly. And I'm glad that you got some confirmation that you needed to hear. And next we have Maria. So Maria, please put up your question. And then after Maria, we have Rebecca. And I think Rebecca's going to be the last one. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, Rebecca's going to be the last reading, you guys. So here we go. There's something else that needs to be said, Kimberly. And this goes for everyone. It's almost like this message is coming through for a reason. When you find yourself, I've experienced this myself. When you find yourself going, reading about things that are codependency and things like that, and like, oh, this is codependency and this is what this is and this is what that is. What happens is that we actually, what we see, it's okay, Rebecca, I figure that's what happened. What we see in the other person is exactly what's inside ourselves. So before we start saying, this is, for some, I don't know why this is coming through. Like before we think, oh, this is talking about them because they're the codependent one, or they're the ones that have the issue, or they're like this and they're like that. And we just kind of like, we just kind of like go, whoop, that's not me. That's all them. The reality of that situation is that everything on the outside is a reflection of what's on the inside. So if you brought into your life, right, by the law of attraction, something that looks codependent on the outside, that means it's codependent on the inside. And that's why you have to look in the mirror, because that's exactly what it's showing you. Whatever is on our outside reality is showing us what is on our inside reality. And that's something that we all have to remember as we move through life. Is it's very difficult sometimes for us to like point the finger at ourselves, because we know that doesn't feel good, and we know the process. We intuitively feel that it's it's a hard process to heal ourselves. But if we don't do that, we have to, that's the only way. Like literally the world is a mirror. So everything you see is everything you are. It's kind of intense. It's an intense one, but that message needs to come through. All right. Maria says, I am just feeling like everything is an uphill battle. And I I'm just the gooey caterpillar in the gooey caterpillar phase? Or is there a block I am not acknowledging? I would say tarot. I would say tarot for this question. Okay, so let's do tarot for this. Everything is an uphill battle. So take what I just said too into consideration, Maria. If everything on the outside reflects what's going on in the inside, if life on the outside feels like an uphill battle, then there's something within you that you feel like you're battling with as well. So what is that within yourself? What are you kind of like hitting up against? You know, what are you coming up against? Just food for thought, and then we'll get some more clarity with the cards. Am I just in the gooey caterpillar phase, or is there a block I am not acknowledging? So another thing about that analogy of the gooey caterpillar is that the cells of the caterpillar do fight back. Like they fight for their lives until the imaginal cells take over. And there's more imaginal cells in the caterpillar's body than there are there's more imaginal cells than there are caterpillar cells. And so what ends up happening is the caterpillar eventually surrenders, right? The caterpillar eventually surrenders. And but they kind of resist it. So it's a nature of the cells. It's in our nature to resist the transcendence, because the caterpillar, the analogy of the caterpillar is about the aspect of transcendence. And that is also connected to, if we have a fear of something, then it's because we have a fear of death, which is a fear of transforming, which is a fear of letting go of something that we are no longer, and like letting something new become. Because we have to, like, some part of us has to die for us to become who we truly are. So there's a lot of things coming through that I think it's a very interesting analogy that you used to describe what you're feeling, and I just wanted to share that. So here we go. Okay, so you got the Temperance card. You got the Chariot. These are both upright. The overall theme, Ace of Swords. The Wisdom from the Ancestors, the Two of Swords, as well as the King of Wands. And the card is the Shark. So let's go a little deeper into what these cards reveal. I've been on a serious self-discovery journey for the last 2 years, and the more I open up and feel growth, I also feel a huge drag holding me back. Ask yourself this. Is it because what's holding you back your belief systems? That you're unwilling to let go of your belief system about something? Because if it doesn't fit, then that means you literally have to let go of an entire belief system in order to continue on the next phase. Think about that. I feel like throwing in the proverbial towel. Think about it. It's a significant, could be happening, could be that it's so huge that you're like, there's a complete and utter resistance, because you're like, that means I literally have to like let go of everything that I believe is right and wrong and start over. That's huge. That's a big thing. Okay. So Temperance. The Temperance card. This is actually really beautiful because the Temperance card brings harmony, it brings balance, it brings healing. And this is the intuition. So what I feel is that you really are yearning for freedom. You really are yearning for freedom. You really are yearning for balance. You really are yearning for healing. And it's an angel, right? It's an angel in this card. I feel like what it's telling you is like, relax, you know? Let go of the tension a little bit. Like there's too much tension, like trust that you're moving in the right direction and keep following the intuition. You know, when life feels like, when everything feels like it's an uphill battle, that means that you're going against your nature. And Abraham Hicks talks a lot about this. When you're going, upstream, like we like to think that going upstream is what is the most important thing. Like if we try harder, if we do this and if we do that and we keep just, you know, we keep paddling harder, we're like going upstream on the boat, then I'll eventually get there. And when I get there, it's going to feel amazing and I can see the goal, but I know that in order to get there, I have to work really hard and life is going to be hard and it's going to, you know, throw me lemons and I know that that's the way that it works. And so I'm just going to make lemonade. And then it's like, oh, it's exhausting. But what Abraham Hicks says is, what happens if you stop trying to row the boat? Right? Give in and stop trying to do things. Stop trying to make things happen, because if things are not happening and there's tension received on the other end, or like things are just not moving forward, then that's not the right direction. It's not about making, like forcing the change because you think that's the change that needs to happen. It's about letting go of the idea altogether that that's the change that needs to happen, and be like, maybe that's not the change that needs to happen. Maybe I haven't seen the other possibility yet. And so I have to stop trying to row the boat upstream and let the current take me to the other possibilities. That will be, and then there'll be and then it'll be easy. That's what Abraham Hicks says. Things in life, when they feel synchronistic, when they feel like they're happening fast and you don't really have to do anything and it brings you happiness and it brings you joy, that's the gauge. Like you have a compass. We all have a compass. If you're struggling in life, that's going the wrong way. Life should not be a struggle. However, in order to get to the release of it, right, is the release of the pressure and the struggle and all of that, there's a lot of things that we have to let go of, like belief systems, things that we thought were the right way to live or the wrong way to live. And this is stuff that we've learned growing up. And this is also stuff that we come up with in our own head, right? We come up with our own rules and our own, like eventually we create our own little world inside our mind, and it controls us. And when it controls us, there's no freedom. We live in a prison of the mind. And when we live in a prison of the mind, imagine when you have to come to the awareness that you live in the prison of your own mind because of your belief systems. I mean, honestly, you're probably going to feel like shit. You know what I mean? And I'm talking like kind of, this happens with like happened with anyone. You're going to feel like stupid, right? But it's okay, because the whole point is to realize that you hold the own key to your freedom. And it has to do with just be like, you know what? I'm just going to face the music And I'm just going to be like, I know, I feel stupid. I feel stupid. I literally locked myself in here and I was wearing the key the whole time. So you know what? I'm just going to laugh it off. I'm going to like unlock the door. I'm going to let myself out. And we're going to start over. It's literally what needs to happen. What's the challenge here is the Chariot. Is that the healing that you want is actually at your fingertips. It's literally at your fingertips, right in front of you. And the Chariot card says, this is time to move forward with determination towards your success, to be assertive. That's somehow a challenge right now. But think about it. It's not about being assertive in the wrong direction, right? It's about being assertive in your aligned soul frequency and vibration. So what needs to happen is overall theme, new thought, new belief system, new mind, new idea. So new that you've never done it before. And let's see what happens. Your ancestors, your spirit guides, angels, and teachers want to send you two different messages. The first one is of the Two of Wands. You need to make a choice. Are you going to keep struggling to row the boat upstream because you feel like that's the right way? That's everybody told me I'm supposed to like paddle upstream and I'm going to try really hard and it's going to be amazing in the end, but oh God, it's so hard and difficult. Like, no, you have a choice to make. Or are you going to open up the cage and free your mind? Now I'm starting to sound like Morpheus. Here you go, open up the cage and free your mind. Because when you set yourself free, you step into leadership. You become the visionary leader. And success just naturally, the success of whatever it is that you want in your life, just naturally starts to flow. So, what's the shark about? Here we go. Valerie says, that's what my mom and I talked about, religious beliefs. Ooh, click your issues together. Yep. Exactly. Ooh, I like that. I like that example, Valerie. The shark, this is big, Maria. This is big. The shark is directness, exposure, revealing true nature and desire. The shark is only dangerous when we don't acknowledge it. This card indicates that something big needs to be exposed. It's lurking in the depths and creating tension. Shark energy takes over us when we are hesitant to be honest, to be totally ourselves, or to say what we really want. It may be tempting to continue pretending nothing is wrong, but when the shark energy is at play, we feel its presence encircling us. The shark is getting closer. Circling around you. It's coming closer, like dun 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 dun. He says, I am working on my 2022 vision board. I will put new thoughts and beliefs. Yes. Nothing old. Only new. Think about it. Think about that picture. Like you're in the ocean. You're in the ocean, literally, in the subconscious mind where all the beliefs come from. And there's a shark circling you. You're like, oh shit. But it's the only way out. The only way out is in. Go in. The only way out is in. That's your message. All right, Rebecca. Here we go. And this is the last reading. Okay, I think you wanted an astrology reading. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. These readings were amazing today, you guys. Thank you. All right, a synastry reading. A fun one to end it with. Not that the other readings weren't fun, but these synastry readings are like really fun to do. 5, 7, 4, 3. Okay, here we go. Okay, you're welcome, Maria. November 20, 11/23, 7/88, 20, 10. Is that 10:37 p.m.? Sorry, I don't know. So if I did it wrong, let me just... Yeah, 10:37 p.m. Jackson, Tennessee. Okay, that's you. And then the other chart is 10, 11, 88, and 3:05 a.m. in Dillon. Okay, let me just make sure I got it all right. So 10, 11, 88, 3:05 a.m. All right, and then yours is 11, 23. Okay, looks like we got it. Have I seen these two charts together before, Rebecca? That's the only question I have. I don't think I have, but just in case. All right, so let's check it out. So the first thing we look at in a synastry reading are the sun signs. So here we go. You've got sun in Sagittarius, and he's got sun in Libra. No, this is different. I've never seen this before. Okay, that's what I thought. All right, sun in Sagittarius is you, and then he's got sun in Libra. So in terms of soul energy, like what's within, right? The soul is, you are a very adventurous spirit. I'm sure you know this. He is someone who loves harmony, and relationships are probably going to be really important to him. Harmony within relationships. There's no other connection really other than that, other than the essences of each of the signs, because they're not conjunct, they're not sextile, they're not trining. They're just kind of close to each other. Okay, let's look at the moon. So you got Virgo Moon, and he's got, oh yeah, here we go, Libra Moon. So again, it's not a conjunction. They just have their own essences with each other. So you are much more analytical. You analyze how you feel. You try to be more of you may be a little more critical of yourself and others in terms of emotions, and a little bit more like kind of nervous, a little bit nervous energy. And then for him, the moon in Libra, again, it's that same, he was born on a new moon in Libra, so he's going to have a lot of Libra energy. He's going to be very, very Libra. And that means that he prefers things to be even keel, cool. If someone else wants to get on the list, I'm cool with doing one more reading and then that's it. So he's very chill. Like Libra people are like super sweet. They love harmony. They like love talking and having conversation, and they also can get attached too. So that's also important to think about. They have like illusions quickly, right? And in terms of, let's look at the rising sign. So you are a Leo rising, and his ascendant. Oh, okay. You guys are both Leo rising. Okay, so there is the first. There is the first connection that you guys have that's a conjunction. So where you guys are going to feel like you've merged energies. So your personalities are very similar. So you guys have a different essence to you. But in terms of the inner world is different, but the outer world, what you guys show to the world, there's a connection there. So it's like best friends, you know. You both like to show the world, you know, to shine your light bright in the world, and you do things big, and like loyalty is really important to you guys, and people and Leos like to really kind of show off their energy, and so, or their relationships. And so that's going to match you guys kind of being in touch with that essence of the relationship. Is you're not going to have a problem like going out there and having fun. Like it's going to be very, very fun. That's what I get. When we look at Venus, which is what you guys desire, you have Venus in Scorpio, and he has Venus in Virgo. So Venus in Scorpio is a very intense energy. What you desire is intensity and depth, and emotional depth, and like sometimes like privacy. But if there's no deep connection, it's like it doesn't literally, like it doesn't activate you, turn you on, all that stuff. For him, he's going to be very particular about what he wants in relationships, sometimes very picky. This is what can happen with Venus and Virgo. They can forget to enjoy the simple things and get too caught up in, well, you know, like we need to make the bed like this or whatever. Like, oh, I need to take a shower before we're intimate or blah, blah, blah. Like that can feel a little bit funky. However, the interesting thing here is that you have your moon right there too. And so Venus and the moon do connect, and you have Virgo energy in your chart. In fact, your North Node is in Virgo, which means that you are, part of your mission is to be present, to learn to be present, and to learn to channel magic into this time-space reality through understanding your emotions and to stepping into your wisdom. However, I will say that Venus conjunct Saturn is not necessarily a good aspect in terms of compatibility, because it can cause, Saturn restricts Venus. Right? Saturn restricts Venus, and Venus does not like it. Like Saturn and Venus really do not get along. So that can be one of the things that causes friction or tension in the relationship, because Saturn obviously feels more wise and feels more like right, you know, about things, especially in Virgo. I'm right, you're wrong. And so it'll make that Venus like it'll trigger the Venus to be more in the shadow than in like the beauty. So I would say that's one thing that feels a little bit kind of conflicting. And then Mars, you've got Mars in Sagittarius, and he's got Mars in Aries. So that's a trine energy. So that's good. That's a lot of passion. Those are two fire signs. So in terms of drive, sexual drive and desire, there's plenty of that, like fire with fire, like, you know, creates more fire, more heat, right? And Mars in Aries is the way that he's going to like act on his desires, is he's going to be kind of impulsive, which will be really fun for you because you're like down for whatever. You're like, you just want to explore and have fun and like, you know, go do fun things. And that's how you act upon the world, is you go and explore it. And Aries is like right all about it as well, because Mars in Aries is going to love having new experiences, where he gets to like learn more about himself. It can also get a little bit immature, right? Because that's what Aries is. It's not the final wisdom of the fire energy. It's actually the beginning. It's the seed. It's the child. the Sagittarius is the wise one that already went through the journey and now like knows a lot more and kind of appreciates the journey, and it's about more about the journey than the end result. But the Aries is like off to a freaking, you know, save the war, you know, kind of the thing. The hero wants to be the hero. So that's energy there. There's a very karmic thing going on with you guys, with your nodes, because his north node is conjunct your south node and your north node is conjunct his south node. So I would say this is definitely a karmic relationship, one that you can learn a lot from. It doesn't mean it's like it's a negative thing at all. Like, take out the belief system that karmic relationships are the worst, because really they're actually the best, because they will help you to learn and grow and move closer towards, you know, your destiny. However, your destiny is what he's supposed to move away from, and his destiny is what you're supposed to move away from. So you can teach each other a lot, but there'll come a point where you may feel like you're holding each other back in terms of your separate destinies. And let's see, anything else? Look at Chiron. Chiron is the last thing we'll look at. So you've got Chiron in Taurus. So you're learning how to value yourself. This is a lifetime thing. You've been learning how to value yourself and have more self-esteem. And with Cancer, he's learning how to love and how to trust his emotions. So there we go. All right. Will you, Jennifer, put up the information for us? And thank you, Rebecca. And let me add the name here. Okay, now this is officially the last reading. Thank you, guys. Okay. Good night, Kimberly. So, a reading for your niece. What kind of a reading, actually? I guess we could start there. Is it an oracle reading, or you're welcome? Is it an oracle reading, or is it an astrology reading that you're looking for? Sorry, I don't have anything to say. Just chilling, killing like a villain, waiting for Jennifer's answer. But in the meantime, while we wait, let me share that I would love for you guys to join the STARSEED membership if you're interested in being guided through the major astrological transits of this year. And then also, if you have not thought about it yet, I would so highly recommend the Moon Goddess training. It's going to be so freaking lit, you guys. Oh my God. Click the link below and go read it and find more information about it. What location were you born? How do you say it? Kyrie? Kyrie? What location? Like city and state. Oh, yeah. I got it. Sorry, I thought that was Kyria talking. I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. But yes, I need the location as well. And check to make sure that you guys are not on a delay as well. Modesto, California. Okay. All right, here we go. Let me just make sure I got this right. 8:25, 86, 8:19 p.m. Okay, got it. Current transits. Okay. Carrier, like that. Carrier. That's a cool pronunciation. Carrier. Okay, Carrier. Got it. Okay, all right, here we go. So your chart is in the middle and the transits are on the outside. And the first thing I'm going to look at is Mercury, because Mercury just went retrograde today. And Mercury is right here in your 12th house, but he's very quickly going to go back into your 11th house. So most of the retrograde is happening in your 11th house, which is the house of your worldview. So what's going to be happening for you is you're going to be changing your worldview. I did a whole video of this in the membership, you guys. So if you're in the membership, go log in and watch the video. But wherever Mercury retrograde is happening in your chart is where you're going to change your worldview and where you're going to restructure your life based off of the fact that we all have to reflect. It's a time of deep and powerful reflection. And so for you, it's like how you see the world will change, and you're reorganizing the structure of how you see the world in general. Where's Uranus? So Uranus is actually in your second house, and these are actually in a square. So there's a little bit of a conflict between unpredictability, between maybe financial unpredictability. Maybe you've been experiencing that a little bit, like you're not really sure like where money's coming from, and this has been going on for a while. But it's actually because it's forcing you to find new ways of bringing abundance into your life and new ways of seeing yourself, self-esteem wise, and your values, new values. Uranus wants you to set in new values. Then you have Mercury in the 12th house, which is also bringing up this sort of viewpoint of your own divinity or your connection with God or spirituality or the unseen, the things that are hidden, the things that feel magical. You may be feeling like there's intense dreams lately. That can be something that's going on with this Mercury retrograde. We're going to have a full moon in Cancer. And that moon is going to be happening in your 5th house. So the powerful thing about this full moon in Cancer in your 5th house is that it gives you an opportunity, this is on Monday, to tap into your creativity and your passion. So I would ask yourself, what do you want to create? How do you want to channel, right? This like intense energy of Capricorn that we're all feeling. The retrograde of Capricorn is happening in your 10th house, which means in your 11th and 10th, but which means that a lot of you're rethinking like literally your life path. You're thinking maybe taking another career path or doing something different, because what you need is to step into more sovereignty and to have this energy in the 10th house, at least currently, it's about you feeling, changing your worldview. Remember, that's still a theme, but also stepping into more leadership, kind of like a more leadership energy. But in order to do that, you need to find how you feel and why. Why do you feel this is happening? And once you tap into your emotions, which are your intuition, they will guide you to the direction that you want, that you desire to go, because these themes are actually, our emotions are actually our guiding system in life in general. And Abraham Hicks talks about that a lot. You also have currently, so you're Pisces rising, and you have Jupiter in Pisces. So this year is actually the year where you're going through your Jupiter return. And that means that this is a year of abundance. This is a year of sort of good luck. Jupiter transiting through your 12th house means that there's a lot of, it's magnifying energy. There's a lot of powerful downloads, like messages that are coming through. It's like your intuition is coming alive. And once it reaches and it conjuncts your Jupiter in your chart, which is at 19 degrees, that's going to be the conjunction. And that's going to be very close also to the conjunction with Jupiter and Neptune, and the conjunction with Jupiter and the Sun that's going to happen in March. So this is March and April. Those are going to be big times for you, like big months for you. Super powerful if you want to start a new business and things like that. March, April. And so what you're going to feel is like because Jupiter is in your first house, you're going to feel like you're setting into your identity, like you're finding out who you are. And who you are is the way that you express your personality is you're a magical being. You're a very intuitive person. This is how you see the world. You can get lost in your dreams and your illusions, but at the same time, you have the power to bring compassion and love into the world in a very beautiful way. And that's what Pisces does. It's Christ consciousness. Let's see what else jumps out at me. I think that's pretty much like it covers everything that's going on right now for you, and where it's happening, and how to really navigate it. But it's definitely a lot. It's definitely a big deal. You also have, well, not now, it's kind of off of your sun, but Saturn has been opposing your sun for a while. That can feel like, ugly, because Saturn is like commands that you figure things out. Like he doesn't give you a choice. And Saturn, the way Saturn teaches, he teaches tough love. So you might be, you last year, maybe in the last couple of years, it has felt that way, like tough love, like tough shit, situations that make you feel like that. So not a fun transit, but it's off of your sun now. So that energy has kind of relaxed a little bit. Or, in closer, actually, now that I'm looking at it, sorry, that I'm making a slight mistake here. Your sun is actually in Virgo, so I was thinking it was in Leo. So what you experienced was when you experienced the... Okay, so just erase what I just said about Saturn, because that was incorrect. My brain was doing like a switch in my mind. But so now it's even a worse message, because it's not a worse message, but when Saturn enters, so the next sign that Saturn goes into is Pisces. It's not going to happen for a while, but that's when you're going to feel the opposition. So it's coming. It hasn't happened yet. But what is going to happen soon, and sometime probably like later this year, is that Saturn is going to oppose your natal Mercury, and that's going to feel like you have a hard time communicating or saying what you want. That's what that's going to feel like. Okay, that's complete. And thank you so much for getting a reading, everyone, tonight. I so appreciate all of you. I hope that you guys have a beautiful weekend. Don't be scared of this Mercury retrograde. It's actually a beautiful opportunity to dive deep, to reflect, slow down, take your time. You got time. You can do it. You'll figure it out. And it's going to feel amazing when he goes direct in early February, and when Venus goes direct, and then Uranus is going to go direct next week. So it's going to feel good. Let's get ready for like this amazing energy. Let's take the moment now, like the next few weeks, to ground down and to be in our kind of sacred, humble abode, and to get ready for something really powerful activations to start to come into fruition as the year starts progressing. Thank you all so much. Check out all the links below. I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend, and I will be back on Sunday night to do the astrology of the full moon in Cancer, so make sure you don't miss that. All right, everybody. Sat Nam.